Tell more familiar, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, who standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, that brings forth its fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the sheep, like the shaft which the wind hath blown away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the law knoweth the way of the righteous, and the way of the ungodly shall perish. Greetings to all. I'm reading from Psalms first chapter, book 1. These are some of the things that has got me through my life. Still getting me through. I grew up learning these scriptures. And the first psalm says the whole content of what's being communicated throughout the Bible, in my opinion. You have to trust that light within you. Don't depend on anything outside of you. Oh man, how many relationships have I aborted because they want me to depend on something outside of myself? Ain't gonna happen. Now here's the next one. It goes, each progressive Psalms goes more in depth, covering the same idea or similar idea. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the law and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The law shall have them in diversion. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his soul displeasure. Yea, have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The law has said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the law with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Now, those who pay attention, you notice how much different when you change the meaning of one word. Because salvation, freedom, justice, all the things we long for, it's not a personal thing. These are ideas. So there's no person outside of ourselves we have to look for these ideas. They're within us. You can say it's the laws of nature. It is the law of nature. So you have to, when you it says when you eat a fish, be sure you take the bones out so you don't choke. It's the same thing with anything. When you read these scriptures, take the bones out so it won't gag you, won't kill you, won't take your soul, the very thing you're trying to preserve. Because everything is polluted. Everything. Now, here's some more scriptures. I'm going to make this video, I say about 20 minutes. It's so beautiful to be live. Man, I'm so thankful. Like I'm here with you all. But I'm doing this for me. This is my meditation. If you want to partake in it, good. If not, so be it. Actually, I started reading these books very young. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Now, if you don't know what these words mean, you need to look them up. There's equity court. These are law books. Don't let nobody deceive you. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the law is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ointment of grace about thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, these are very specific instructions. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them, which strain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. What does that mean? You know, reading the scriptures and understanding them are two different things. I'm going to elaborate on this verse to see if you got the understanding that that I have. Doesn't matter. You can have a different understanding, but I'm just showing you my understanding of it. When it says, what about the bird? Give me a minute to find that scripture. Oh, yeah. And they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk proudly for their own lives. The verse before that. Surely in vain he spread his, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. That's the target verse I want to elaborate on. Read it again. Those who follow me, it's verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. It very simply saying that if you try to catch a bird in a net, it's in vain because you would never catch a bird in a net. A bird is too swift. He's too intuitive to know what you're doing before you do it. That's a gift of the Spirit. So they shed that net in vain. They're wasting their time. And then if it goes further to say, to elaborate on that idea, and they lay wait for their own blood. Wow. They lurk probably for their own lives. Man, it's telling you right here. You try to come against the righteous, those who honor the law, it's suicide. It's suicide. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Who are the owners? Whether you believe it or not, this melanin says a lot. That got a rhyme there. Whether you believe it or not, this melanin says a lot. So you better be proud of that melanin. Man, the enemy want to race it out. Look at it, it's so diluted already. And you proud of that? Who can I be proud of this beautiful melanin skin and this kingly hair? This kingly hair. Oh, they diverted the word, call it kinky. But even in that word, if you're wise, you see it's kingly hair. You want to have, you want to look other than yourself, other than the way you were made, created. That's a sin against, oh boy, that's a sin against yourself. You might well just lay in front of a train if you're going to do that and teach your children that. Judgment Day. Wisdom crieth without. She uttered her voice in the street. Okay, where my 20 minutes at? Okay, where? 14 minutes. Okay, I got 6 minutes left. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the opening of the gate in the city. She uttered her words, saying, "This is what it's saying in the. This is the words it's saying. Whether you hear it or not, it's always been spoken to you. How long will you simple ones will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorners, and fools hate knowledge." I've been so wonderfully blessed because I've always loved knowledge. I've always sought out knowledge. I've sacrificed everything for knowledge. Yes, everything. Except my life. What's the use of knowledge if you can't live it? Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. What? What? Let's read that again. Turn you at my reproof. Whew, that's a command. Behold. Ooh, I missed that word, didn't I? I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. What this is saying is that God can use you as a vessel when you turn and follow the law. The most important law I've found is to honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth land in which the Lord thy God has given thee. It's a law because they are in you. How can you not honor them? Bone of bone and flesh of flesh. Those who dishonor their father and mother, you're like walking corpses. You think you're alive, but you're not. This verse is repeating. That's why it's been repeated again and again. Turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words to you. God will speak to you, through you, in you. Because I have called and ye refused, or I've called many times. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But I'm not sad about that. That makes me glad. Not that no man regarded, but that I followed the law. Because it's telling me right here what's going to happen. But you have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof, I also will laugh at you, your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. That's a bad commentary. Okay, I'm gonna close these next few minutes. Little understanding about these books. God's people, which is us, when you follow the law, we are the Old Testament. We are the Old Testament. Before that was the only book, the only testament. They called it the Old Testament. The New Testament, it's not really for you, with the exception of one book, and that's Revelations. Actually, that's the first book you should read. The one is called Jesus wrote that. That's the one book you should read. It's the first book. Then you go into what they call the Old Testament. Leave that new stuff alone. It's not for you. Now, those who waited till the end, you're going to get this jewel because you stayed with me to the end. It wasn't meant for those who left. Why isn't it not for you? Because Paul, the apostle, he called himself an apostle. He didn't come for you. He went to the Gentiles. He went to the Gentiles. You are not Gentiles. That is for their salvation because they are personal people. They need a personal savior. Understand this and pray. And if you want more of this, let me know. If not, you won't hear any more. Thank you.